Welcome to Hokey Religion, the Star Wars podcast. This is Tyler.
This is Michael.
And the things.
Hokey religions and ancient weapons are no match for a good blaster at your side.
Hey guys,
Hey,
it's the podcast show.
where we talk about Star Trek. Right? That's right. I think that's what we do here.
Star Trek. So there's stuff in
a
that.
ship, and there's planets, and there's Mr. Sprack,
Mr. Spork.
and he has Kirk, Captain,
Kirk.
and
He's a Kirk Captain?
yes,
Okay. So Kirk Captain and Spork.
yeah.
And
Star Trek.
Grody LaForge. What's his name?
Yeah, he's in there.
Gordy
Mr.
Giardi.
Bites,
LaFage.
Lafige. I think that's how you
I have no
pronounce
idea what's
it.
happening.
Yeah,
I don't watch Star Trek at all.
I do.
Well, you can get new friends that do that.
We have lots of things to talk about.
We do. Some stuff has happened with Star Wars, as it always does, and will continue to. Welcome to the podcast. This is the show we record.
How long is this thing going to go on?
Star Wars. So, guys, this is episode 20, and Star Wars is still happening.
Still happening.
We don't really know what to do about it. We can't stop it.
We thought it'd be done by like 5 episodes.
Try as we might. We just can't stop it.
It's still happening. We're not sure what is going to happen with us at this point.
All right. So, back on track.
Anyway.
So, tickets for Star Wars Celebration Orlando went on sale recently.
The 25th.
If you
a couple
haven't,
weeks ago.
if you haven't bought your tickets for it, some of them are already gone. Especially the VIP. Those went super fast.
Are they gone already?
The VIP were gone the same day.
Nice.
Yeah, there's not a lot of them. I mean, they're $700 a piece.
That's a lot of money.
Yeah,
We did not get VIP tickets. We got regular tickets.
normal cheapo tickets.
We're
not even going all 4 days because we can't
can't even do that.
afford it, and our families won't love us. It unfortunately is taking place Easter weekend, which I know for a lot of people doesn't matter, but our families do things on Easter and would shun us forever if we weren't a part of Easter things on that Sunday.
Let's not be silly here.
About what?
I don't know.
Okay.
So we're going Friday and Saturday.
Yeah, we'll be there all day Friday and Saturday.
Wearing
around-
our sweet Hokey Religion gear.
in stores now.
Literally.
In the
You can
online
buy
store
them.
now, not just like don't just go to a store. and
Somebody
look for
show
it.
up with one of our shirts.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. They're only money.
Not really. It'd be kind of creepy.
I'm a really big fan of your podcast.
Who are you? I'm scared.
I've been watching your podcast for a long time. Wait. What?
The window!
So yeah, we did make t-shirts. I can tweet a link of it again, but there are t-shirts and we both got one and they're actually pretty nice. So get a t-shirt because they're awesome and why not?
And they smell like tacos. So
When you
even
first
better.
buy them, they smell like cat pee and tacos. Wash them once, you'll be fine.
Very important to wash them before you wear them.
Unless you prefer to smell like a taco man.
And have an incurable rash.
Well, that may happen.
That could happen without the shirt. So that's not really our fault.
Shirt's not guaranteed to not give you taco rashes. So,
So,
yes, we will be at
come
Star
out
Wars
there.
Celebration Orlando Friday and Saturday of the show. So come out and find us and don't touch us.
Yes. And very important, the last part. Don't touch us, please.
Let
That's
us touch
kind of
you.
a requirement. This is a contract where we will not touch you if you do not touch us. Kind of assumed.
Yeah, okay.
Why am I having to talk about it? I don't know. You're the weird one
the
that's going
toucher.
around touching us.
Stop touching.
Jeez. Control yourself.
So I'm very excited about that, coming back to Orlando after being in Europe.
For like 10 years or whatever, however long
Yeah,
it was.
'cause it was here twice in a row, and then it
Yeah.
went away to Europe, where we can't afford
Well, it went to
be.
LA or
Or,
California,
yeah, it went to-
the
it
West
went-
Coast.
Not LA, but
I don't know. It's the only city over there.
Anaheim. It was in Anaheim.
Whatever.
It went to Anaheim, and then it went to Europe, and those places are all far away, and we don't have a travel budget here at Hokey Religion, so we weren't at any of those. And, well, Europe hasn't happened yet this year, but we won't be at that one.
Please donate to our Hokey Religion travel budget that we will spend on
7-Eleven trips for chocolate-covered donuts.
and the Orlando train to downtown. So that's about as far as it goes right now.
Yep, that doesn't go past downtown Orlando. So yeah, that's going to be pretty cool. Looking forward to it. Of course, there's not going to be any announcements about anything to do with Celebration Orlando until like the week before it happens, because they wait until like the month before to say anything that's going to be happening. But that will be right before, that'll be the summer before episode 8 comes out.
We are guaranteed at least there will be Star Wars there.
Star Wars things will happen.
So we can count on that much.
That's true. I expect the big people to be there, like...
yes, the big fat people.
all the large... Well, it's Florida. It's Orlando. What do you expect? I mean, Carrie Fisher has been coming to Celebration for the last handful of them.
Number 1.
Mark Hamill's been at a lot of
big
celebrations.
Fat person number 2.
He lost weight. She was airbrushed a lot in the new movie.
Airbrushed abs!
Leia's airbrushed abs.
Coming to a theater near you.
Gross. No, but I expect the big players
theater
to actually be a part of it. I don't know. They haven't announced any of like the new people as far as
I'm sure there's going to be
Boyega or Ridley or any of those people are going to be
And it's the year 8 comes out, so I'm sure all kinds of people are going to be there.
Yeah, and so hopefully there'll be a lot of information about 8 as well, because it'll be...
Probably a trailer, I would imagine.
Yeah.
It's in April.
Yeah, and if Rebels is still going on as well, I know Dave Filoni always has been doing stuff at Celebration.
I think Rebels is...
Yeah, is it ending after?
It's ending. This is the last season of Rebels.
Is it the last season? I couldn't... Well,
it was a rumor.
But there's supposedly... It's leading into something else, isn't it? Supposedly?
Well,
Wasn't that a rumor?
I thought it was going to... Well, yeah, there was going to be another show. I remember that rumor.
If there's something new...
Maybe that'll be
I
announced.
don't see Filoni stopping doing Star Wars stuff after Rebels.
No, but maybe I don't think the new show will be out by the time.
No, but there could be
there could be
or a pilot or something like that.
Something to do with that.
Because I know at Celebration Europe, he's showing 2 episodes of the new season of Rebels.
Sweet.
And of course, he has been teasing some legends are... So there are some truth in legends, is what he tweeted.
Yeah, so he tweeted out a picture. I just smacked my mic out of my mouth.
Why is your mic in your mouth? We've discussed this.
That doesn't need to be. Just ignore that part. Just.
Oh, really?
Yes. Yeah, he tweeted out a picture of a hardback book,
a spine
with some gold lettering that said Star Wars on it, and he said something about some legends are true. Something like that. He said
there is some truth in legends.
Basically, what I just said.
And what the rumor has been for a while now is that Thrawn would be a part of Rebels at some point.
Right.
That was a rumor. Well, with this image of the spine, people looked up the Thrawn trilogy and found that the first book of the Thrawn trilogy is that exact same color Star Wars logo on the spine.
Right.
So there could be other Star Wars books with that same colored font and whatever with the Star Wars logo on the spine. But
well, let's think about this. How would Thrawn?
I don't care.
You don't care? How would work?
I just want Thrawn. I've wanted him forever. Like in stuff, not just. Well,
do you think he'll still be a Grand Admiral? Or do you think it'll just be the character Thrawn and not necessarily?
He has to be something. Like.
Well, yeah. Well, obviously he's going to be an admiral or some kind of person in the military, but.
Can you?
Do you? What I'm getting at is,
him?
Do you think he is going to have all the same canon that we used to have, or are they going to change some stuff with him? He'll still be in the military, sure. He'll still be like the tactical genius that he was in the books, because that's him.
Yeah. I mean, and kind of in the timeline of things, like Filoni said, there are some truth in legends. So this would be around the time when Thrawn was doing his thing in the Thrawn books.
Yeah.
So I would hope he would still be some big player. I know, of course, in the books he was like in charge of the rest of the Imperial fleet at that point.
Yeah.
I don't know if he's still going to be that involved, but
because you still got this guy from Rogue One. I forget his name now, but
yeah, I know. Yeah, that guy.
We talked about last episode. I can't remember. Anyway.
Star Wars, Hokey religion, names. We'll never remember them.
The military director. Basically, is what he was.
And he has that whole Thrawn like outfit
persona.
On,
yeah.
He stole Thrawn's wardrobe.
So you've got that guy hanging around, who I assume is going to be probably mentioned, maybe in the season of Rebels, if they're bringing those two things closer together.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, he could be involved.
So,
I mean, maybe because that guy is supposed to be, like you said, he's like the the director of the military. He's not an admiral, but he's
Right.
the main guy of the military. Maybe that's kind of what Thrawn's role is.
It just seems like that.
Maybe it's not the same title of admiral.
It just seems like that kind of conflicts with all of Thrawn's canon, or what we had before as canon.
Yeah.
So I don't know how much they're going to keep.
Maybe they won't feature him a ton. Maybe he will just be canonized by this and not really delve into his story too much to allow, like Filoni said, some truth in the legend, and then just kind of let him exist so that we can assume that most of what we've heard maybe happened in some form or
Yeah, maybe
another.
if he doesn't die.
Yeah, if they don't kill him off in Rebels.
Right.
But I hope it's Thrawn, because then he will be canon, and then we can have Thrawn toys. And I want a Thrawn action figure. Because
I
that
want
would
a
be
Prince
awesome.
Ziesel action figure. I've always wanted him and his Viper, his starfighter. You remember that from Shadows of the Empire?
Yeah, it's been a long time.
I love the Viper.
It was really cool.
The look of the ship, and I love that level in the game. The battle
Oh yeah,
on his Starhook, I think it was called. It was like his space castle,
yeah,
something like that.
that
But
would be cool.
I think it was a Starhook. But it was a great level. It was a great game. I loved Prince Ziesel. He's a great character. I wish he came back. And Dash
Well,
Rendar. Dash Rendar was a sweet
Well,
character
Dash
too.
Rendar, yeah, I think a lot of people have no idea who that is at this point. Probably.
Dash Rendar?
I mean, yeah. I mean, you have a lot of people that have jumped onto Star Wars fandom, later, and
Hokey religion.
I mean, the fandom of Star Wars is a lot younger than it used to be. I mean, there's still all the old guys and people like us. And,
There's babies running around.
yeah, there's Star Wars babies.
Babies making podcasts.
Stupid baby podcasts.
YouTube reaction
But
videos.
I mean, it's just like those, it's just like those YouTube reaction videos. We're like, oh, Nintendo 64, this is so stupid, and it looks horrible, and people played this. Like, there's probably
There's people. No, that's not true. There's nobody saying that. There's kids like jumping on there saying, "Oh, remember this? If you are a '90s kid, you remember this."
it's not Tumblr, but no. But I'm saying there's probably a lot of Star Wars fans now that have no idea who Dash Rendar is. It's sad, but I mean, he hasn't been in anything since a game, and
If you know who Dash Rendar is, tweet us at Star Wars on Twitter.
just say I know. That's it. Just the words I know.
At Star Wars on Twitter. That's our Twitter
Star
handle.
Wars. We need to keep an eye on that. And if that one ever comes available, grab it.
Are they like domain names? Can you? Do they expire?
Just wait. If at any point they're inactive for a year, maybe we can convince Twitter to give it to us.
If you close your eyes while you're on Twitter, it's like the Matrix, and you can just see
the numbers.
expired handles floating by, and you just pick out and grab them.
Yep, that's how I tweet. I don't. How do you Twitter?
That's the handles.
Okay, I don't
that's
know
not like,
what you're doing while you're tweeting.
It's not like that was like, me like doing fart monster videos.
You don't have a Twitter fart monster?
Anyway,
Speaking of domain names, we got one.
that just goes nowhere. Well, it just goes to our
podcast.
podcast thing on the internet.
We tracked down and acquired hokeyreligion.com. So we have official website names.
So go there if you want. It goes nowhere interesting.
It goes to our podcast
Eventually,
page.
we'll have a website.
It goes to our podcast blog, which has every episode listed there, with also icons for links for iTunes, the RSS feed, and our Twitter.
Yes. All of the things that we tweet out with every episode anyway. So
Yes. But hey, if you
Things
want to
that
tell
you
somebody
tweet
about
out.
it, instead of being like, well, there's this great podcast, it's itunes.com/, just hokeyReligion.com. They can find everything right there.
it's all there.
Putting the plug up front. For
One
those
day
that
we'll
don't
have
stick around
a
to the
sweet
end.
website with like marquees and like a hit counter and like one of those blinky things and like a star background, Starfield
Pretty sure
background.
that's a MySpace page.
No, it's like GeoCities, man. It's the thing to do now.
And sparkle text.
Yes, and like fire gifts and rainbow flashy things. Hear that?
Yes, I hear your squeaky,
Stupid chair.
squeaky ass.
Yeah, I should clarify. It is my butt making
Yeah,
that
it's not the
sound.
chair. It's just his butt on the chair.
Well, now it stopped. It won't do it. Oh, there it goes. No, it only does it when I
wonder if they can
talking.
actually hear that squeaking noise that's coming out of your butt. Yeah, probably. Okay, stop. So, talking about other things that aren't your butt, that are more Star Wars related than your butt.
My butt is pretty Star Wars. Thank you very much. If only you could see.
No,
I'll
thank
drink
you.
this beer while you talk.
All right, thank you. Michael's now going to be quiet for the next 30 seconds. So Lawrence Kasdan came out talking about
Fooled you.
Talking about his involvement in the rest of Star Warsy things. And since he is working on the Han Solo anthology film, he said it should begin shooting in January and is projected for a May 2018 release.
January of 2017.
It was upcoming. Yeah,
Yep.
January.
Mm-hmm.
So they'll have like a year and a half to work on it.
Right.
So that'll be way too early, I guess, for anything.
There hasn't been a
happen.
director or anything attached to that yet, has there?
I don't know if they announced a director yet.
They did
honestly
announce
can't remember.
the Han Solo casting, and I forget the kid's name, but he hasn't been in a whole lot.
No, he was in Hail Caesar, but I think I mentioned this last episode. The reason the rumor is the reason they announced him so early is that he may appear in Rogue One,
Yes.
which would be interesting. But
Well, yeah, I guess we'll get to that in a second. But going back to the Lawrence Kasdan thing, this is going to be his last Star Wars movie that he's writing.
yeah, he's working on Episode 8 and then working on Han Solo, and
And then he's retiring from Star Wars.
yeah, but he's working on
That's what
Han
he says
Solo
anyway.
with his son. I don't know if you knew that.
I did not know that.
So
All I
he's,
knew
he's
is that
writing.
this was
He's
his
writing
last
the
one.
Han Solo film with his son, who has been writing with him for other projects.
Okay.
And Kasdan said he wants to move on to directing and doing other stuff and not just writing anymore. So, depending on how his son does, his son could continue on with the legacy of working on Star Wars films, which would be pretty cool. Unless the movie sucks, and then maybe not.
Yeah, no director attached yet.
Yeah.
Alden and Renrick. And Renrick?
Yeah, that guy.
Is in it.
Yeah, he was in Hail Caesar and 2 other movies.
Oh,
that
he
I've
was
not
in
seen.
Stoker, too. That was a really good movie.
Yeah, I don't know.
With the guy from Watchmen and Nicole Kidman.
Okay. Interesting. So
he was
he said filming should start next January, which is awesome. And if filming starts next January, do you think by April we would have anything at Celebration Orlando
In
for
January?
Han Solo? Maybe a
Ooh.
teaser.
They would still be shooting during that. I doubt it.
I mean, obviously, it would only have been shooting for a couple months. But do you think they would have
Maybe a
teaser,
poster.
something together?
I
for
can
that?
see maybe a poster.
That'd be pretty cool.
I doubt
But,
any
that
footage.
Celebration would still, because he said maybe a release in May 2018. That would still be a year. Celebration would be a year before the film release.
Right.
I just wonder if they would try to
I doubt there'd
put
be
anything in there.
I doubt
just
there'd be
even a
any
teaser.
footage. I think maybe a poster and maybe more cast announcements and
Not even that this episode 7 teaser.
maybe
that
some
short-
stills.
Yeah, maybe some.
I'm
concept-
trying to think of
concept stuff. Maybe I don't know.
remember back when Guardians of the Galaxy or when Marvel was announcing all of their Phase 3
Yeah,
movies and that kind of stuff, just announcing.
showing some
general
announcing
stuff about the
showing
movie.
maybe some artwork or something.
Yeah, exactly.
That could be cool.
Maybe. I assume they would do something like that.
Yeah. So I guess, are they sticking to that schedule where the anthology or in-between films are coming out in the summer and then the trilogy films are coming out in the winter?
Yeah, they're still aiming for that. Which they're still
So-
pushing for that for Rogue One, which I wanted to.
So it's like a year and a half between movies? Well,
it's a year.
So there's going to be a year and a half between Rogue One and... 6 months between Rogue One and
Rogue One's December.
December. So it'll be a year between Rogue One and Episode 8, but then it'll just be 6 months from Episode
Right.
8 to Han Solo.
Right, because Rogue One got pushed. Did it get pushed? I can't remember if it got pushed or not. But
I think
it turns out that December, they probably would have pushed it anyway because of this here.
Yeah, probably.
Um,
So, I mean, that'll be cool. So right after we get Rogue One, we'll start getting leaked stuff for the next film that's filming for the Han Solo film.
yeah, probably.
Getting, pictures and all the things with that.
maybe. If it's
Well,
less
you know.
lockdown, then Rogue One was.
Yeah, the fact that we saw nothing during
Almost
during
nothing.
production.
We still haven't really seen anything other
Nothing
than that
during
footage.
production really at all until they released the trailer, and
Yeah.
then we got images of stuff. But yeah, during production there was, I don't know, it may have been the fact too that episode 7 was filming at the same time and was still working on, like everyone seemed to be really focused on episode 7 and not so much on the production of Rogue One.
Yeah, it kind of slipped under the radar.
Yeah, it really did feel like it. Speaking of Rogue One, there's
Right.
some stuff going on.
Yeah, apparently
I
the
don't know.
movie isn't... Well, this is according to a Page 6 article. Apparently the movie isn't testing well. And I think,
Well,
from what I was gathering from other places, it's just with executives.
yeah,
at
and that's
Disney.
it seems like it's and that's what I've read at a couple places as well, that it seems like it's getting blown out of proportion as to what was actually happening,
Yeah.
because apparently episode 7, obviously due to keeping it way under wraps, there was no testing for episode 7.
Right.
No
Right.
fan or crowd testing, anything like that. So,
And JJ did go back and do reshoots for that, too.
and apparently there's no testing for Rogue One either.
Right.
But just to kind of quote the article is, page6.com was saying that they have a Hollywood source that said the execs at Disney are not happy, and with the movie and Rogue One will have to go back into 4 weeks of expensive reshoots in July. And then a Disney source added, the filmmaking team in the studio always anticipated additional shooting and second unit work to make the films the absolute best it can be, and the actors were aware there would be additional shooting. Coming off The Force Awakens, there's an incredibly high bar for this movie, and we have a responsibility to the franchise and to the fans to deliver the best possible movie we can.
Right.
Deadline then actually clarified a little bit that there were no test screenings, and that a reshoot decision was made after Disney's suits and producers watched the initial cut of the spinoff, and that according to the sources, the first cut was lacking the edge that Force Awakens had, and the story needs to gel. The film's December 16th release date would not be affected, according to an insider.
Right.
And with Comic-Con fast approaching, hopefully the studio might be able to tease fans with at least a little something.
Right.
So apparently the tone of the film didn't feel right to the executives.
Which is odd, because it seems like Gareth Edwards, from his past work, he would be able to nail that kind of...
That darker tone.
Yeah, the dark,
Yeah.
edgy kind of tone. But I don't know. Maybe he... he's only really worked on... Godzilla was only his only big studio movie.
I still haven't seen that.
Me neither. I don't know how it was or not.
Yeah.
And coincidentally, he's not doing Godzilla 2.
Yeah.
Partly because of this, and partly because he just wants to do indie movies from now on. So maybe he just
Maybe
had
he
a bad
doesn't
taste
like-
with this.
Maybe he doesn't like the big productions.
Right.
So yeah, apparently the tone didn't feel right, and it just didn't feel Star Warsy enough, I guess,
Yeah.
in the tone. So I don't know. I don't know what to think about that. But obviously the film comes out in December. It is now May, starting of June. So you're usually still doing reshoots and doing pickups and things like that at this point,
Right.
during post-production. So I think obviously time was built in for fixing things up and reshooting stuff if they needed to.
Right. This isn't a huge deal. But
It's not a huge deal, but it's...
I will say, on one hand, it's disappointing in a way to hear that
Disney...
maybe he was... See, I don't know. It's just kind of guessing to say that
Yeah.
he was handling it differently than other Star Wars properties.
Yeah, maybe.
have been handled.
Again, I think it's
But-
really getting blown out of proportion by fans and media, because they want the hype
Yeah.
of, oh my gosh, something's wrong with Star Wars.
But, it's bound to happen, right? We're going to eventually
Someone's
get a
going
bad
to break
Star Wars.
at some point.
We're going to get,
We're gonna
prequel
get another
level.
Ewok Adventures.
Yeah, we're going to get another Phantom Menace or something like that, probably.
Shut your mouth, you dirty.
I was going to say, but on the other hand, it's encouraging to know that I'm hoping, this is the case anyway, that people at Lucasfilm and people at Disney have that, that Star Wars feel in mind, and they're trying to get to that. So
Yeah.
maybe it didn't meet certain standards that need to be met, and this is just going to make it better.
Yeah, and obviously all this reporting is very attacking, like, oh, something's wrong with Star Wars, but maybe it's just the wording feels off to me, but just the fact that up until now we've heard very much that Disney is very hands off and letting Lucasfilm completely control the Star Wars stuff.
Right, we were
But
talking
everything
about
I've
that.
seen with this is that the Disney execs didn't feel it felt right.
So maybe it was a case of they felt like they had to step in because
something was that
there was this standard that
off.
wasn't being met.
Maybe
That's just, I mean, obviously completely guessing, but
yeah, but I don't know. That's the only part that felt a little weird to me is that it wasn't like Lucasfilm deciding to do some reshoots. It's almost like Disney was like, nah,
right.
you need to go back and work on that a little bit. But I mean, again,
So we could end up with a much better movie because of this.
Yes, we could. And I mean, stuff gets pushed like this to make
We,
it
the
better.
deserving fans.
Yeah. And I mean, like they said, there's no expectation that this is going to push the release date. And I mean, time is built in for stuff like this. And even like Pablo Hidalgo was making fun on Twitter, like, "Oh no, the movie due in December is not ready." Like, yeah.
Right.
I mean, of course they're planning to continue working on it at this point. So I don't think it's a detriment to the film, but
Right.
hopefully the fact that people are saying that, and it seems very, I don't know, other than the quote sources are saying this, if Disney execs really were having an issue with the tone, or if it was just well, these parts need to be punched up a little bit and these parts
Right.
need to be a little different. I don't know.
Right.
I doubt the entire film's tone was off. If they're just having to go back and do some reshoots, there's maybe just some pieces that didn't work
Right.
the way they wanted them to once they started editing things together.
Yeah, I really don't think it's that big of a deal.
I don't either. Hopefully it's not that big of a deal because that would suck.
I mean, JJ got, a chance to rework some of the Rey and Finn relationship story points when Harrison Ford broke his clavicle or I don't know, whatever. His butt.
Yep. That
Broke his,
Millennium Falcon door slammed right on his butt.
broke his dick off or whatever that
Snapped his
was.
butt off. They had to
It was rolling around.
throw his cheeks on some ice and
like
rush
a
him to the hospital.
little roly-poly thing.
Someone's like chasing down the ramp after his butt cheek. Mr. Ford, I've got your cheek.
You put that down, son.
Get off my Falcon.
Does he say that?
No.
Ever?
Get off my plane.
Does he say that?
Air Force One.
Oh, okay.
Have you seen Air Force One?
Yes, I have seen Air Force One. It's been a long time, though.
That's a great movie.
I have
And
seen it.
will always continue to be a great movie.
Have you seen the Jack Ryan movies? Patriot Games?
That's been a very long time.
That's an excellent movie.
Yeah. I've seen Air Force One dozens of times.
James Earl Jones in
Those other movies I've only seen
a
once or
hospital
twice.
gown. Yeah. Anyway,
I don't remember that part, but obviously we watch
that's
movies
the
for
only
different
part I
reasons.
remember.
That was just the scene. You just kept the movie at that point.
Oh, yeah.
Turn it on, hit play.
Bookmark that. I've got a little post-it note right on the spot on the DVD.
How do you see when it's playing where the
Huh?
thing...
What's that? Huh?
Okay. So
Episode 8.
no, talking about Rogue One.
Oh.
For those of you that haven't watched the
We're like halfway through our notes.
shut up.
We've got so much more.
Yeah. Talking about Rogue One, for those of you that haven't watched the Star Wars show that the official Star Wars YouTube channel has started doing.
I haven't watched that. Is it any good?
The people are a little annoying because they're Disney and talking about Star Wars and, oh, we got stuff and we're on YouTube.
Oh.
Like, they're a little like that, but
Hashtag us and poke us on Facebook and
yeah.
swipe us on Tinder. I don't know. Is that what we all do now?
Yeah, but just swiping Tinder. Just blindly flailing your hand at the screen. Whatever happens, happens. Just let it happen.
You don't even turn your device on. Just kind of.
Yep. That's how Tinder works, right? So
And married.
that's not Tinder.
Oh, wait. That's real life.
That's Grindr.
Married. Marriage.
Sure. So the people are a little, they're excited, and they're hired to be working on Star Wars, which I would be also probably excited and act like a little schoolgirl if I was allowed to make a YouTube show for Star Wars and given information.
What's funny is they're actually using schoolgirls. It's kind of weird.
Why aren't they in school?
Are they still schoolgirls at that point? Just girls.
Just life girls.
Oh, bring in the girls.
Weird. That's how every episode starts. No, so the people.
And then that's it. It just goes to black. And then there's just this.
If you can't see it, nothing's illegal. Nothing illegal's happening. So the people are a little annoying, but they're actually revealing actual information from the actual source. So you can't fault them.
Right.
You can't fault them for being excited about doing that.
Yeah.
But the most recent episode that I saw, I know it comes out every Wednesday, I believe, or every other Wednesday, something like that. I don't think it's weekly. I'm not sure.
Okay.
I'm not following it that closely enough to care. But they did announce that like poster art for Star Wars Celebration Europe,
Right.
which had 2 new things on it that they announced.
That.
The background on my wallpaper on my computer. There is a new stormtrooper called a shore trooper, which I'm guessing are those stormtroopers that were fighting on that Beach of Normandy type situation that they were running across with the giant AT-ATs, which are actually called, that was also announced, AT-ACTs. AT-ACTs.
AT-ACTs.
So it's an all-terrain armored cargo transport, which I believe are those taller, larger ones that we saw in Rebels.
Yep.
I haven't gotten to that point in Rebels with those, but what cargo do they carry? Do you know?
It's just the look that's different. There's really nothing.
But they're bigger. I mean, it's not just an all-terrain armored transport, because the transport is just carrying people, and there's not that much room inside a regular AT-AT.
I don't think they're bigger. I think they're like prototype versions of the AT-ATs we see on Hoth.
Think so?
Because, I don't know.
They looked bigger to me.
Did they look
could
bigger?
Carry more than just people inside.
I couldn't tell if they were bigger or not in Rebels. It didn't strike me as any bigger. It was just the different cockpit that.
Yeah. And if you look at the image, there's actually, I don't know if it's just a shine of color on the side, but it looks like there's like a orange panel on the side of it.
Yeah, it does.
So we've got new stormtroopers that are like beach stormtroopers. I mean, if we've got sand troopers and we've got snow troopers and just regular stormtroopers, I guess we now have beach troopers.
Right. Which
They should have like shorts armor, like Bermuda shorts armor.
Yeah, and Bob Marley colored chest armor.
Yeah. just pot
dread helmets.
Why did we suddenly turn them into Jamaican troopers?
Hey, I didn't say Jamaican.
It's not racist if it's true. So shore troopers, that's an interesting name. But there's also the cool image of the Death Squad troopers on there as well.
What is the difference between a shore trooper and a sand trooper?
There's no water when there's just sand.
So it's the combination of water and sand.
Yeah, it's the
that
shore.
makes them a shore trooper.
There's a shore, so there's got to be water.
So do they need to be in the water at some point? Like with breathing apparatuses?
Well, they have cooler helmets. Like they're like little hats.
It looks almost like a scout trooper.
Yeah, their helmets are a little like scout troopers. They seem to have more like grenade-y things. Like the image on the art looks like he's throwing a grenade.
Or he's just saying stop. Or victory.
Just yelling.
He is holding his gun the wrong way. I will say that.
They do look like they just have pants on. Like that's not armor on their legs. Like he's just wearing baggy cargo shorts.
Maybe that's the difference?
There's just chest armor and cargo shorts. Shore troopers.
He's holding his gun in the middle, like it's just going to shoot by itself.
Yeah, because he's chucking a grenade.
No, he's saying victory.
No, he's chucking a grenade.
He's saying stop.
No, he's chucking a grenade.
Look how it's just his fist. There's nothing in his fist.
Yes, because he's right-handed. He's throwing a grenade. It's a little thermal detonator. I swear.
It's tiny?
I swear he's throwing a grenade.
His fist is completely closed.
I think he's throwing something. Why would he take his hand off the trigger? His right hand off of
That's
his
why I'm
trigger?
saying he's holding his gun the wrong way. It's not going to do anything if you just hold it.
He doesn't even know he's right-handed. I swear.
Wearing shorts.
He's wearing cargo shorts.
Can't even shoot his gun. He's about to throw a grenade, but his hand is empty.
Shore troopers.
Ugh.
I don't know. I think they look pretty cool.
There's also the Death Troopers.
Yeah, the Death Squad troopers are pretty awesome with their green lights. And there's actual art of Luke Skywalker looking like the Jedi Master.
Oh, yeah.
That's finally on a poster or an artwork thing somewhere.
Right. Out in the world now.
And no Leia or Chewbacca or any of those, just the main characters.
Yeah, who cares?
Who cares about those people?
There's no Han Solo. Where's Han? Where's Han? I don't see Han on there.
We can talk after the show.
What happened to Han? Where's Han?
Got something to show you.
Oh no! Put your pants back on.
Wait. I swear I had a picture in here.
Why is Han in your pants?
Well, why isn't he? So yeah, stuff from Rogue One is happening. Shore Troopers and ACTs. It's pretty cool. Some more information, of course. We're definitely going to get some more Rogue One stuff from Celebration Europe, as I think like the main opening panel is Kathleen Kennedy and the director of Rogue One, if I remember correctly.
Sweet, really?
I think so.
Ooh, nice.
That's
in how many?
July.
It's in a couple months, right?
It's like mid-July.
Okay.
Yeah, and then like I mentioned earlier, Dave Filoni is showing 2 episodes of Rebels there, and whatever else gets announced at Celebration.
Nice. Yeah, there'll be some good stuff coming out of that, I'm sure.
Oh yeah, I'm sure. Oh, something else that happened real quick, just a little tidbit.
Do you know if they're live streaming that panel, the opening?
Probably.
They've got to, right?
Well, maybe, because they did that one with the episode 7 announcement.
What was
thing.
that? It wasn't Comic-Con. Was it Comic-Con?
Was it Celebration?
It was Comic-Con, wasn't it? Was that the one where they took everybody to see the fireworks show after?
No, they had the music. They had it was Comic-Con because
because Kevin Smith
was talking about it. Yeah, he had a panel afterwards in the same.
He was
hall,
in the same hall.
No one was there.
Right.
Everyone left to go see John Williams concert.
Right.
Yeah.
With fireworks and junk.
Yeah.
Fireworks, right?
Another little tidbit that came out is, of course, various props for Star Wars are made by various companies. And Novos makes really good props, but Disney and Lucasfilm have a prop store now with the melted Vader helmet. Yeah. Finn's helmet with the blood handprint on it.
Incredible. It looks
Poe's
so
helmet,
good.
which is sweet.
Yeah.
A Kylo Ren helmet. Kylo Ren saber hilt. It's listed as Rey's lightsaber hilt.
Oh, nice. Rey's staff is there.
Staff,
yeah.
And a freaking bowcaster. Ugh.
Yeah.
The bowcaster's like $2,500, but
it's got to be worth it, right?
Some of that stuff, I mean, like the melted Vader helmet, I don't think anyone's making that. And it's
well,
not
how could you?
And it's not going to be the actual model. Like these are the actual models based off of like the digital scans from the actual props.
Right.
So if you want like screen accurate props, this is where you're going to get them. And I know the melted Vader helmet and the Finn helmet were like a limit of 500.
Wow.
I think the very limited run, which they may already be gone. That was announced as of recording. It was announced today.
The Finn helmet looks incredible.
It does. But yeah, if there was only 500, I can't imagine those lasted very long. I haven't checked.
Yeah, they may be gone by now.
Poe's helmet's pretty sweet too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I want a bowcaster because that thing I love the bowcaster.
Yeah.
And now that there's like an actual prop replica from Disney and Lucasfilm for that, that's awesome and I want it.
I would love to get something of that quality, but an E11 blaster.
Just an actual...
Like an actual heavy made with the real gun parts and everything.
Obviously with the 501st, there's a lot of companies that make those prop weapons for the,
Sure, yeah, right.
But I don't know how, I've never held one or seen one to know how, like, what the weight is or how realistic it feels.
Yeah.
Just always make your own, which I know some people do.
Right.
Yeah, so...
Pretty sweet.
If I had all of the money, I would get those. But then again, I wouldn't have my family because they'd leave me. I love my family more than Star Wars sometimes. So moving on to episode 8. Sometimes. So moving on to episode 8. Some of these things we mentioned last time. Just some like rumor things with Kylo Ren and Rey and Luke being on Acto or Act 2, whatever it's called. There's been some more information. Acto! There's been some more information regarding that.
It's like the U2 album.
Huh?
Actung, baby!
I don't...
There is a U2 album called Actung, baby.
I don't listen to them.
Actung, baby!
Thank you, Bono. So we talked last time about that there was rumors, or at least a source had mentioned that Rey and Kylo and Luke had a meeting on Acto, and whatever happened, Luke got angry and blew up the place around them type thing, and then maybe they fought. There's been some more pictures and some more quote sources that have informed people, making Star Wars. I get a lot of stuff from making Star Wars because apparently they have people on the inside who like to talk to them about things that would get them put in the Disney dungeon. So take everything with a grain of salt, whether these sources are reliable or whatnot. But from the past with making Star Wars, their sources have been pretty spot on. So just based off of some pictures that we got from their set in Ireland, which they've actually wrapped filming in Ireland. They're done with the whole filming there.
Yeah, I saw that.
But I know we mentioned there were some like Black Knights that people saw fighting or on set in that area. There was like a smoldering or smoke like ring that these knights were kneeling around, which appeared to be whether it was just like the front of a ship that had crashed or a pod that had crashed, and like the knights were kneeling around it.
This is on Ireland?
In Ireland, supposedly for the set for the rest of Acto.
Interesting.
So we don't know if there's just like a part of a ship and like the rest will be put in CG.
Yeah.
It could just be something like that, or it could have been something that crashed. But these knights are like kneeling around it, or maybe it was just smoking because it's really hard to land on Acto, and Chewie made it look way easier than normal. Or even maybe Luke like force brought down the ship.
Yeah, but why kneel around it though? That's
Due
the
to
part that
who's in it, and
that's
I'm assuming
odd.
if these are the Knights of Ren, they are probably kneeling to Kylo coming out of whatever this is.
maybe of a crashed ship.
If it was crashed, or if it was just a hard landing, or just smoke, just because of smoke sake.
Interesting.
I like to think that maybe Luke like brings the ship down like out of the sky with the Force
Right.
and makes it crash. But
That would be sweet.
yeah, that would be really cool.
After he couldn't even lift a friggin' X-wing in Empire.
Just seeing him like bring stuff out of the sky.
That'd be cool.
It'd be like the plane from Lost. Or just
Doesn't Yoda
suck
do
it
that in one of the prequels? Not bring a ship down, but doesn't he push or
Like
prevent a ship from leaving? Crap. Is that in Clone Wars or is that in...
I cannot remember, honestly.
Does that sound familiar?
Yeah, it does. It really does. Well, there was that whole battle with Dooku in that hangar. Was he throwing ships around then? I honestly can't remember much from that battle other than Yoda flipping everywhere.
Did he try to
So
prevent
long.
his ship from...
I don't know.
It sounds
I
familiar.
try to forget Clone Wars. the
Of
movie.
course. I told you the other day I have a urge to watch that again.
Don't.
I just got a random urge to watch Clone Wars again.
Nope.
Attack of the Clones. Sorry, not
Sorry.
Clone Wars.
Sorry, yeah, Attack of the Clones.
Yeah.
Yeah, I never
of the
have an
Clones.
urge to watch that movie because that's not a movie.
It's a video.
It's a thing that was put on a disc and exists, sadly. I do need to watch the prequel trilogy again, just because it's been so long. Like I watched them when they came out, and I honestly I've only ever seen Revenge of the Sith twice.
What?
Yeah,
I've seen that more than twice.
I know. I just
I think I've seen all of them more than
once I
twice.
finished the prequel trilogy, I was like, I will. That noted. I saw it. The end.
You don't
Moving
remember
on.
anything from it?
What?
You don't remember anything from it?
I do. I remember Attack of the Clones the least,
Oh.
but I think most people probably.
I think we've talked about this before, that I wish the prequels would have been, not would have been, but will be more acknowledged in future Star Wars stuff. Whether it be in TV shows or just like references to, more references, I should say.
maybe with Snoke
things
and
in the
Kylo
past.
and stuff. Maybe some more stuff with Anakin will be brought up. I don't know.
Yeah, I would imagine so. But even some of the more expanded universe type things, you know, from lesser known characters, people introduced in Clone Wars. Like there was that
Yeah.
that guy from Ryloth in Rebels that was in Clone Wars.
That's true.
Stuff like that. Like I wish they would pull from the prequels a little more,
Yeah, maybe.
because there were some objectively cool characters and stuff in there. I think
There was. I mean, yes,
Some. not a lot.
there were good ideas that were very poorly written. I feel.
Yeah.
And I think most people feel that way, that the
That's
writing...
not a it's not a hard
I think
take.
the writing for Clone Wars was the worst of the writing.
Tyler's hot take.
I know this
I
is
don't
gonna
know
be
about
controversial.
you, but the prequels were pretty bad.
I know this is going to be controversial, but I really think that Attack of the Clones is probably the worst of the prequel trilogy. I know what you're saying.
I know. You're probably saying now, Tyler. Hang on there.
What about the Genosians? But listen, I get it. They're
What about
insect
that
people.
cool dinosaur monster that comes in here?
You just
Is that what
pass
they
out.
say? What about that cool dinosaur monster?
As you're just like sinking into quicksand. What was that? And sing. So talking about episode 8 and that supposedly crashed ship and the knights kneeling around it, whatever that scene is, kind of leads to something that was said to making Star Wars, as far as an inside source goes, that this goes along with us talking about Rey and Kylo and Luke fighting again. That supposedly Luke and Rey are on Acto just before nightfall as the sun sets in the background and it starts to rain. Kylo Ren and the Knights of Ren turn up along the coast. Kylo Ren continues advancing towards the heroes with the Knights of Ren. Kylo does not have a mask on, and he has the same lightsaber as he did in Episode 7,
Sure,
so
same costume.
hopefully it was grabbed when he was fleeing the destroying planet. And his costume looks the same. Supposedly Rey and Kylo duel one-on-one and end up fighting along the cliff face overlooking the nighttime water. Ooh. Kylo wants his revenge after Rey disgraced him because he was being a bitch. That's not what it says. That is my note. The Knights of Ren go for Luke, and Rey is left to fight with Kylo. Luke engages the Knights of Ren on the beach while Kylo attempts to kill Rey. The first Black Knight has an axe and moves towards Luke, but is force pushed away to his death after being thrown through the air. After Luke dispatches the first knight, he ignites his green lightsaber. Luke moves through each knight one by one. Rey and Kylo's battle moves up to the side of a cliff. Suddenly, Rey is nowhere to be seen. She's taken out of the battle. She's wounded or appears to go over the side something. Luke Skywalker casually walks towards Kylo to finish him, but Kylo retreats when he sees that the Knights of Ren are defeated. And Luke is a badass Jedi, and he'll destroy your squad. That's the note. So, and one of their sources commented that a lot of wire work was used.
Well, sure, a lot of Force stuff.
So,
if this is all accurate,
I like that Luke just starts dispatching them with the Force first before even taking out his lightsaber. Just like, I don't have to dick with you with actually fighting you. I will just throw you around like a rag doll. Don't even try it.
Really, you brought an axe to a lightsaber fight? Okay,
brought an axe to a Force fight. Like, I don't even. What are you gonna do? You don't even have the Force. Just bloop,
bloop. All right,
he just like flicks his fingers, and people are just like flying up into the air.
One.
Yeah, it's like Roller Coaster Tycoon. He's just like picking the people up and dropping them in the water. And then Luke and
so angry. Let's put him in here for a little while. Oops, forgot about him. Oh well.
So yeah, Luke.
Park rating. Whoop, 4.5.
That's how that works. So Kylo and Rey are fighting and doing their whatever, but then we actually finally get to see Luke in action, using the Force and then using his lightsaber. And the fact that the person noted that it is the green lightsaber too, because the actual light rod he was using on set supposedly had green light to it.
Sweet.
So most likely still his lightsaber from Return of the Jedi, which is pretty sweet. So
and now comes the speculating.
Yeah, now comes all the speculating. So the rumor is that this battle and this is all taking place outside of the temple that is on Acto.
Sure.
Like Luke takes Rey to where the actual temple is, not on his little hut.
Right.
You know, little sad island. Takes her to like the actual temple and wherever that is. And someone, I think their source said it appeared Kylo may have run into the temple. So I don't know if Kylo's there for anything to do with the temple or just to try and get them at this point.
Okay.
And of course, Kylo just like hauls ass away. He doesn't want to fight Luke because he knows he's not gonna survive that. He's not gonna be able to fight Luke and live. So he just runs away like
right.
The pansy he is, because he's still just a whiny bitch. And whatever happens with Rey. So I don't know when this when in the movie this takes place, but that would be a hell of an opener, or close to an opener for the movie, if that was anywhere near the beginning. Just like
it goes back to what we're saying, whether or not the movie's going to open
right where we left off.
Yeah, I don't know.
Like, what if it, because Star Wars always starts with a ship flying overhead type thing.
Yeah.
What if it's the ship that lands on Acto, and then this badass battle with Luke and Rey and everything just like busts out, and it's nutso from the get-go?
That'd be crazy.
It would be, because
I would want more interaction between Luke and Rey
I think you need
first.
the Luke and Rey story.
Yeah.
I think it kind of needs to pick up exactly where it left off with her trying to hand the lightsaber off.
Yeah.
So we're not going to get the flyover of a ship. That whole thing.
Or it's the flyover of the lightsaber coming over the camera as Rey's handing it, you know.
Slowly underneath. So I don't know, but just the fact that it's a fairly reliable source. Someone supposedly saw most of this happening on set.
Sweet.
Yeah, it's awesome. And at least that is hopefully some confirmation that the Knights of Ren are actually going to be a part of something and not just in a flashback scene.
Are the Knights of Ren like the new Boba Fett? Are we not going to get any story on them until
I'm
after
sure
this
we'll
is
get
all
something
done?
somewhere because we have to try to figure out why the whole Ren thing exists with Kylo.
Right.
I mean, he went from Ben Solo to Kylo Ren, and he has this following of the Knights of Ren.
That sounds like something that's going to be explained in a book or a comic.
Probably. I still want to know if he started that or if he found them.
I'm sure there'll be a couple lines about it in the new movie, maybe, but nothing.
Just like explaining who they are.
Yeah, nothing complicated.
Yeah, because it needs some explanation. What the hell's a Ren, and why are there Knights of it,
Yeah.
and why is Kylo a part of them?
It's like with Leia in 7, Max von Sydow's character goes, well, she's royalty to me.
Yeah.
Like, that's the only thing you get
With him.
about, well, now she's not a princess, she's a general now.
Yeah. So we get
That's
it.
the only explanation. And then you had to wait for the book, you know.
You had to wait for Bloodline to explain any of what happened with her.
Right. I think it'll be something like that.
Possibly, yeah. I would like some explanation of the Knights of Ren and why that whole process and Renhood, like what it's not a very great name,
A
but
Ren Hood.
he came into his Renhood.
WREN, like the bird.
Sure. So yeah, I don't know. It's a pretty awesome description of a battle, and I can't wait to see it. If there's actually anything to do with the temple, or if the fight even like continues into the temple with Rey and Luke fighting Kylo in the temple, that'd be
Right.
pretty awesome.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's really the first, other than just getting pictures for episode 8. Pictures of sets, pictures of the Millennium Falcon being built on some set somewhere at the bottom of the steps or
Right.
anything. That's like the first big rumor mill thing to come out of it.
Right. Well, no, actually, that's not true. The pictures from what is supposedly Han's
the pictures
funeral.
of the supposed funeral, but we didn't really get
Right.
much of story about what happened, like what was happening with those pictures.
No, there wasn't explanation, but there were a lot of pictures,
There
and
were a lot of pictures.
there was even some video from the
of
filming
of
that.
Yeah, the wire fighting, the
Yeah.
guy getting thrown.
Right.
Yeah, so I mean, we saw stuff was happening, and we can assume maybe it's a funeral, but
So this is probably the second big.
this is. I mean, but even then, we don't have any like what was any of that. We don't even know who was doing the fighting or the exploding or the people throwing. Like,
No, sure, that's
we
true.
have nothing. We have no context for any of that other than that's cool pictures. I want to know what that's about.
Right.
Like we got pictures of these Black Knights on the Acto set.
They could only be the Knights of Ren.
Yeah. And so we're getting hopefully some confirmation from a reliable source that what's actually happening with those pictures and why that's happening there. And,
Right.
Apparently they come after Luke and Rey. And it's not just Rey and Luke doing their little powwow teacher-student time, and then they
Right.
go off and find everyone and fight them somewhere else. They hunt them down and come after them.
Right.
So that's really cool.
That was inevitable. I mean, because now everyone knows where Luke is.
Yeah, I mean, if you can track the Falcon at all, you're gonna find where they are.
That is interesting, though. Did they track the Falcon, or did they get the rest of the map somehow?
But only BB-8 and R2 had that.
Right. So, did something happen?
Is there somebody in the Resistance?
Is it Carly Rae Jepsen or whatever?
What
What's her name?
are you
The
talking
new.
about? Yes, the Call Me Maybe. That girl? That's who Carly Rae Jepsen is.
What's the lady's name? The new actress. She's the new one. You know the new actress?
Laura Dern.
Yeah.
You couldn't remember her name either.
No.
Don't put this evil on me. Maybe. Or there's still that theory of, is Finn actually there of his own accord?
No, that's a dumb theory.
Yes, I don't think it has legs, but he could be. This we didn't see.
No, it completely destroys his arc in 7.
It does, but
His whole reason for leaving.
what a twist!
No, that would be. I would be really pissed,
That'd be a very big twist to pull.
and I'd be super pissed because it doesn't make any sense.
It doesn't, especially since we saw him like not killing people and like being sad about it and taking off his helmet and being like,
Yeah, he had
"Sads."
genuine emotion and feeling and motivation to
He
leave
was just
the
getting
First
into
Order.
character.
That's such a stupid theory.
It is the stupid theory that
Anyone
Finn-
who believes it is a a loyal listener of Hokey religion. I don't know.
I don't even know if we finished saying what the theory was. Is that Finn is all undercover? Like all of this was part of him being undercover,
Right.
To get into the Resistance.
That's just dumb. It can't work.
No, I don't think it's valid either. But
Colin Trevorrow, you better not
you bastard!
pull a Sixth Sense. Pull a Bruce Willis on us.
That doesn't mean the Bruce Willis.
It's the Bruce Willis.
That doesn't mean there's not a mole in the Resistance.
Yes.
Because that could very well be the case.
Mm-hmm.
It could be Laura Dern or some other
Carly
centrist.
Rae Jepsen.
Or maybe it's Carly Rae Jepsen. Maybe she's part of the Resistance and she has to call someone maybe.
She's Captain Phasma. Right?
Sure. Yes. Carly Rae Jepsen.
What's happening?
Rumor confirmed. Carly Rae Jepsen is Phasma. We still don't have any confirmation of if Phasma's around at all. There's been no pictures of her. No.
Yeah, she's around. Yeah.
Yeah, she's supposedly involved. We haven't seen her.
What's her name?
We haven't seen her.
Brienne of Tarth, didn't she?
Seen her.
Gwendolyn Christie. That's her name.
There you go.
I remembered it. Wow.
You had to.
Only on the second try.
Only a little bit of blood out of your nose, but you got it.
I haven't checked in with my blood feet lately.
Nope.
Is that done now?
It's done.
Oh, okay.
We cauterized the feet.
Okay.
We haven't seen Phasma though. We haven't seen her anywhere. I'm sure she's doing something, but
You mean the actress?
no, the Phasma.
The
No, the Phasma.
I mean, we haven't had a movie since then, so...
We haven't seen her.
Tyler, do you think that's real life?
Don't understand my feelings.
Tyler, do you think this is real life?
Wait.
The movies? Do you think this is real life? Tyler, no. No. That's not, no.
It's real to
No,
me.
Tyler, no.
It's real to me.
No. Tyler. No, Tyler.
Okay. Moving on to that's the Star Wars stuff that's happening. I don't know. That's a really awesome description of a battle in Episode 8, and that we actually get some fighting with. Well, we may get some fighting with the Knights of Ren, or they may just be thrown around and never get to actually fight anything.
More importantly, it's fighting with Luke, which that's what I want to see. I want to see Luke fight and be a badass.
Yes. Just because, I mean, the last time we saw him, he was still just like, what is the Force? I can do some stuff. And I mean,
Last
obviously,
time we saw him, it was just a little nose twiddle or whatever he did. Some emotional eyes. That's about it.
Sure. I mean, he could do stuff, and he was a lot darker in Return of the Jedi, but he wasn't super strong in the Force. But now if he's just like flicking people around and just like throwing people, and then
Boink.
like seeing him actually fight with an actual lightsaber in an actual film and not just tapping lightsabers against Vader like we had in the original trilogy, because we have actual sword fighting, people teaching them how to fight with lightsabers.
Actual sword fighting people taught them in the original movies, but
it was more like fencing. Like it was not even fencing.
Lucas wanted it to be like what's that called? Like great sword fighting. Is that what the great sword?
It was even slower
broadsword.
than that. It was kind of like broadsword, but it was very
like these big heavy like Excalibur type things. Like that's what he wanted.
They're made of light,
right?
So they don't weigh but the hilt.
And then he kind of just exploded all of that with Darth Maul and Phantom Menace.
Yeah.
Oh, you mean they can all be acrobats now? Okay. Oh, all right. Well,
you want fun? Yeah. So getting to see Luke like actually fight with this lightsaber, but I don't know what fighting there will be with the lightsaber if the Knights of Ren don't have lightsabers to fight against him with. It's just going to be him slicing through
an axe,
just slicing through butter people.
A magazine. This rock that I found.
TV dinner.
Hungry man. Watch out.
just flinging them.
Oh,
you cooked the meatloaf with your lightsaber.
The brownie. It's so hot in the middle. No, it's hot on the outside. That's what it is. Yeah, it's the other way around.
The middle is frozen, the outside is lava.
Right.
Yeah. Welcome to Hungry Man, where the outside inch is burning lava and the inside's a brick. Hungry Man.
And the corn is all just gross and dry.
It's already ready to poop right out.
Just totally not digestible at all.
Well, that's corn.
But this is Hungry Man corn. This is
Hungry Man
another level of that.
So I know we're reaching the end of the show, but we had an idea for a new segment for the podcast, which I like, but no one else gets.
Even I don't really understand it, or
Okay.
I thought it was going to be something different, but apparently you're explaining to me it's not what I thought it was.
What?
I thought it was going to be something funnier.
I want it to be funny. So we came up with an idea called Ask Lobot, because Lobot's in our studio at all times.
Yes.
And we want people to ask us Star Wars questions. Now, people took this very literally.
We should
and
take
ask
the
us
chance
very
to-
serious Star Wars questions. Which is fine. You can ask us serious Star Wars questions because, yeah, there are some people that listen to this that may not know anything about Star Wars other than having seen the movies. But we're also liking to be funny on this show. So if you have any really stupid Star Wars related questions or really dumb or really silly or just like made up questions about
If you
Star
have
Wars,
any medical questions.
if you have any rashes you need to send us pictures of,
No pictures.
Oh.
Just ask. We don't need to
just
see.
describe it vividly like a George R.R. Martin novel.
Yes.
No, if you have any Star Wars questions, whether they're stupid, silly, dumb, whatever, weird, something you just want to ask us about or ask Lobot about Star Wars, please send us your questions. You can tweet us, you can email us, you can smoke signal us, and our smoke signaler will get right back to you. But we did get some questions from some fans.
But real quick, we should probably not gloss over the fact that Lobot is here in the studio.
Lobot is here in
with
the
us.
corner.
He's very quiet. He doesn't have a microphone.
Well,
We'll get to that
he doesn't
eventually.
talk much either. And our first question actually leads right into this with Lobot. This comes from our listener, Scott Anderson. He was asking, he said, I've always been slightly confused. Asking specifically straight to Lobot, are you an android or did you have some sort of head injury that necessitated a computer being fused to your brain? Or perhaps it's simply a reverse visor like LaForge from TNG.
Star Trek! Yes! Talk about Star Trek!
Geordi LaForge. So we would let Lobot talk, but he doesn't really talk that much. So the real story behind Lobot is he has this
Well, first of all, he used to work for the Empire.
yes, battle planning and things like that.
Yep.
And he had this this cybernetic implant put on his head
Willingly.
put on his head, and there are others that have had it. I think there's even a character in Rebels that has one on their head,
Possibly.
if I remember correctly.
Not sure.
And it's a cybernetic, basically a computer that attaches to your brain. And one of the things it does is it basically saps your entire personality away from you.
Right.
Now, of course, that would lead to why Lobot is so stoic and creepy and weird.
Yep.
But also what happened with Lobot is he was a human who had a cybernetic implant put on. But something happened to the human Lobot. Of course, this is all in the history of Lobot that may or may not exist anymore. but the actual human Lobot...
the part where he worked for the Empire, he willingly had this
the
cybernetic
weird part
surgery.
is his name was Lobot before he was a bot. So that's
another
a great
thing.
It's a very good coincidence.
We can talk to him about that later. I'm
Yes.
not sure
But
what
the human
he was
Lobot
thinking.
was injured and made brain dead, and his cybernetic implant took over to continue controlling the person of Lobot. There's the human is brain dead, but the cybernetic implant has taken over and he's basically a droid that ages.
Yeah, so he is a soulless creature now with nothing behind his eyes.
Lobot's shaking his head. He's flipping us the finger. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Thanks, Lobot. Yeah, so he's obviously not very happy about us talking about him while looking away.
We should probably move on to the next
Move
question.
on to the next question. So yeah, Lobot was a human who had a cybernetic implant that took away his personality, but the human side became brain dead in some battle, and now his cybernetic implant took over, so he's basically a droid, but still having a human body. This leads me to question, now, he is a robot, so he doesn't have urges, I'm assuming. Now, does he still have to, use the facilities, even though he's like a robot person? Does he even think about it?
Well, he's still an organic being, so yeah, I would think that all still has to work and function somehow.
I want more
He's
Lobots.
not a robot. He's a
Lobot needs to be in more films.
he's a Lobot. So he has
Yeah?
what's that?
That's just...
That wasn't a joke.
Okay.
Anyway.
Yeah,
What's
so
that, Lobot?
that's-
What's
that's-
that? What's
that's-
that? You eat tree bark. Oh. Well. It's probably not good for you.
He's had some head trauma.
Okay.
Scott also had a bonus question. Is there an origin to the prophecy anywhere, or is it simply always there?
I assume the prophecy meaning the prophecy about the chosen one.
No, I took this as the prophecy that we're the best podcast in the history of podcasts, and that is true. It's always been there. We started that prophecy ourselves.
Right. This is the Star Wars podcast. I mean, it's in the name.
So if you look at the other podcasts, they're all, a Star Wars podcast or just Star Wars podcast. We are the Star Wars podcast. So the prophecy of us being the Star Wars podcast was made true by ourselves.
Obviously.
Now,
or else it wouldn't be in the name. I mean, it's a pretty dumb question.
Obviously, that was a very short answer to a question. So to add some time to it, we'll maybe reference some Star Wars stuff. The prophecy of the chosen one in Star Wars, it's very loosely talked about.
There's nothing. So short answer is there's nothing in canon that establishes where the prophecy came from or who originated it. It came from some Jedi holocron ages ago.
Yeah.
And Yoda makes references to it.
And so does Palpatine. And just doing a little more research into it. So apparently way back the Jedi had this prophecy of there being a chosen one. Way back when the Sith and the Jedi had their big war between each other, and that's what started the Sith having a rule of two,
right?
To kind of hide their numbers.
Well, wait, I said there's nothing in canon, so this is now legends.
There is now nothing in canon as far as it's reached.
So this is all legend stuff
until stated otherwise. The legends still hold true. Until stated otherwise, the legends still exist. So it's very loosely used too, because everyone says there's a prophecy for a chosen one to bring balance to the Force.
Yep.
And both sides believe that that's true. The Sith think that there's going to be someone to bring balance to the Force to make the balance be in the Sith's favor. Mm-hmm. And the Jedi think there's going to be someone to bring balance into the Force to make everything good and happy.
Which is interesting if you think about it, because in the prequels, there were all those Jedi and only 2 Sith. And Anakin technically did bring balance to the Force by eliminating the rest of the Jedi.
After Anakin was done, there were 2 Sith and 2 Jedi. Now, there were some Jedi in hiding, probably, for after Order 66. But as far as leftover...
it became more balanced than what it was before. More balanced.
So it could be possible that the prophecy was he brought balance by killing all of the Jedi and making the 2 sides equal.
But it could have also been... The prophecy could have been... After Anakin's death, the life balance, what's it called? Like the life force. The alive force. I don't know. Qui-Gon talks about it.
The flowing fluid force in the universe.
That became balanced. I don't know.
Yeah.
Because he returned and the Sith were kind of eliminated in a way.
It's very vague because both sides have their own really belief system around it. But even the thought of the chosen one, because Anakin was a virgin birth, and the assumption is that maybe even Plagueis in his power and in his death may have caused that birth to happen or to take
again
place
another legends thing.
But I mean, it's very possible that that Anakin wasn't even that chosen one, like the actual prophesied chosen one, that he was made into being by Plagueis or something evil.
Yeah.
So he was destined to be evil from the beginning. And then we have Luke, who may be the chosen one. Now we have Rey, who may be the chosen one. So I think it's just that whole thing of there's always been this belief that something's going to happen to make things better for us from both sides, but no one really knows. It's just like been twisted for so long that no one really remembers how it started, I don't think.
Sure.
And as far as canon goes, it hasn't been canonical as far as there's a chosen one. Crickets. Like there's no
That's about it.
We don't have a canon story for the prophecy now. We just have the legends to go off of, and whether any of that remains true is yet to be seen. So yeah, that's not an answer, but that's because there's not one. So our next question we got from Avi Mahan, or Mahan. I don't know how to pronounce your name. Thank you, Avi.
Avi Mahan.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So he said he was a big fan of Star Wars, or they. I didn't say if it was he or not. Sorry, I know Scott is a he because I actually know Scott.
I know Scott too.
Sometimes. Avi said, they know a lot about Star Wars and big fan, and they didn't really have any Star Wars questions because they said they knew it all. You jerk. We love you. Keep listening. Tell your friends. But just asking us questions about Star Wars, just saying, just wanting to know more because they listened to us and said we're doing a good job, and thank you for that. It was very good to hear someone actually listens and enjoys it, and you're not a family member or someone that we know personally.
That's 2-3 people at this point.
Yeah, there's actual people out there.
3 or 4 people. Yeah.
All 50 of our downloads are not just from me downloading it 50 times. So
that can't be possible because I'm doing it 30 times. So
our stats are way off.
Something's wrong.
We don't listen to our show. You know.
Oh,
that.
I'm downloading other podcasts.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Better podcast.
Yeah.
But Avi asked us what our favorite characters, weapons, and starships were. And my answer was just, there's one answer for this question. And my favorite character, weapon, and starship is IG-88.
Yes.
I know he's not a starship, but I can ride him around if I want to.
If you want to.
Yeah.
If he lets you. I don't know.
You don't have any answers?
No.
What's
What's my favorite character?
Like Star Wars.
I like
Hi, my name's Michael, and I like Star Wars.
Star Wars. I like the Skywalker man.
I like the Star Wars ship with the wings.
I like lifesavers. I like the stormtroops.
I don't want to know what's happening on that side of the table. Where's your hands? Where's your hands?
I like Dark Vader.
I like the Dark Vader.
There you go, come again.
Yeah.
I don't know. I didn't think about this beforehand. I guess I should have.
I mean, character. Obviously, everyone says Boba Fett often, and Boba Fett is one of my favorite characters because he's awesome. But in the actual film and in the canon, we have zero Boba Fett of him being actually cool. He showed up, he did like a couple things where he stood around, and then he just got shot once and he fell into a big pit. Like he didn't really do a lot of cool things. Going off of everything else, I mean, it's definitely one of the bounty hunters, whether it's Dengar or Boba Fett, I think, are some of my main Star Wars related characters.
Are we saying this could be anyone, including Legends
I mean,
people?
I guess so.
Because I have a few if it's including Legends people.
Go for it.
Kyle Katarn probably is one of my favorite characters. He was a smuggler for a while, right? I think he was a smuggler first. And then he became a Jedi.
Ooh.
And he worked with Luke for a little while. So
I mean, if we're going to go into Legends and
his ship was called the Moly Crow, which is pretty much the best ship name ever.
Moly Crow.
So
If we're going into Legends and hopefully canon soon, my favorite character is definitely
don't say it.
Thrawn.
It's Lobot.
No.
No?
Sorry,
What's that, Lobot?
What?
No?
Oh, more fingers. More flipping off.
Oh.
Okay. For a droid.
He's really rude.
It's very rude.
Man, he can't even sit still. We've got a whole segment about him.
Just doing the robot over there.
He can't even stop it.
Not my leg. But yeah, definitely Thrawn. Thrawn is awesome. If you've never read the Thrawn trilogy, they are really good books, and hopefully some part of that will be made canonical very soon.
Oh, you know what my
Thrawn
favorite
is amazing.
Yes, you know what my favorite weapon is?
Yeah.
I don't know if you remembered, if you had like the weapons book from the 90s.
Sure.
Do you remember that?
Yes.
Anyway, there was like a prototype laser weapon in it that was like the size. It had a backpack and it was like the size of like a bazooka.
Like the Flame Troopers, kind of?
But it was like the
even
first
bigger?
ever laser gun.
Yeah.
But in the Star Wars universe, I thought that thing was pretty cool.
Nice.
Just because it was so impractical.
Yeah, if we're going weapons, I mean, the bowcaster is just... Its design makes no sense, but it's really cool.
That or a disruptor rifle. I like the disruptor rifles. Those are pretty sweet.
Yeah.
Again, I don't think in canon. Maybe in Battlefront. Is it? I think they have a disruptor rifle in Battlefront now.
And Starship, I don't think you're allowed to say anything other than Millennium Falcon.
Oh, the concussion rifle in Jedi Knight.
Oh,
in
yeah.
Dark Forces 2.
Yeah.
Oh, that thing was awesome.
I think I have that somewhere on my computer.
Dark Forces 2?
Play that sometime. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I love that game. I used to make maps, like mods and stuff for that game.
Yeah.
That's such a good game.
It was a good game.
But
so thank you guys.
the concussion rifle.
Thank you guys for your
hold on,
questions.
Starship.
No, more questions. Starship.
Well, I said Prince Ezor's the Viper ships. Those are pretty sweet.
I guess so. I mean, the Millennium Falcon is awesome, and we will never understand how its guns work.
I still don't get it.
We have no time for this. We've already gone long.
That or the TIE Advanced. Those things are pretty sweet too.
Yeah.
Look it up. They had crazy, weird shields and things. There's also
flaps.
There's a hyperdrive.
Gizmos.
There had shields on it. It had laser guns.
Laser guns?
Yeah.
shooting jackets. Thump, 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 thump.
Oh, I can't see.
Oh, I'm so warm now.
Oh, there's so many blazers on my cockpit window.
Please don't ever say cockpit like that again.
Oh, this blazer
my
gun.
cockpit.
Oh, this blazer gun. Oh, it's just going everywhere.
So thank you for starting off the new segment of Ask Lobot. It's probably not going to be an every episode thing, but if you have questions, whether they be really stupid, something we can just make fun of, or an actual question, please send it to us. We would love to make fun of you and your questions. We can.
Lobot back in his box.
Well, yeah, Lobot. Why are you kicking him so much?
It's a very,
He's already in the box.
it's a very clangy box.
Sure. So thank you for that. I know we've gone pretty long on this episode, but we always do when we have lots of things to not talk about. So thanks for listening. Again, as always, you can hit us up on our email at hokeyreligionpod@gmail.com. You can find us on Twitter at hokey_religion. You can find all of these things on our website from hokeyreligion.com now.
You can find each of us on Twitter, but we're not going to tell you our handles. You got to figure it out.
It's scavenger hunt.
We like every Hokey Religion tweet, so
I
it's
never
not
use
that
my own
hard.
personal Twitter anymore.
Huh?
I don't use my own personal Twitter like at all anymore.
Oh, I use all the time.
Sorry.
I vote in polls. I tweet sometimes.
Thank you. Someone has to run the Hokey Twitter account. So, of course, we are on iTunes and Google and all of those places. Please share the word, tell your friends.
Go to hokeyreligion.com and
spread the word.
be disappointed.
And friends and things. And leave us reviews if you feel like it.
If you share with your friends, we'll send you $5. Tyler will send it to you personally.
This has been
I
it for
guarantee
this
it.
week of Hokey Religion. Goodbye.
Hokey religion is an ancient weapon. Hokey religion is an ancient weapon for no match for a good blast here, true side.
Like a whale. It's like a really sexy whale.